Okay, with that, we'll move to item 2. Item 2, the first thing we have is legislation resolution 500 will be presented to Wayne Boyd by Mr. Crow. Rod?
Come on up. I can't thank you enough, and for the record, so that my name is spelled in the transcript properly. My name is Rodney Crow, K-R-O-G-H, and former resident of Sioux City, Nebraska, and I happen to currently work in Lincoln, Nebraska, for State Senator Bob Christ. I serve as his senior legislative aide, and it is important for the state of Nebraska and those who watch what goes on in the state of Nebraska to know important facts. Last year, at my request, Senator Christ introduced Legislative Resolution 55 to honor Tom Osborne. He only introduced one resolution last year, for last year's session. This session, at my request, when I told him the facts regarding the length of service that the city attorney here for the city of Sioux City has put in since 1968, the service that he's provided to Dakota City and the village of Hubbard since 1987, and from a state fact point, he was appointed by Governor Charles Stone back in 1982 to replace an unfortunate passing of one of the members of the board of directors of the Nebraska Public Power District. He served from the spring of 1982 on through the rest of that year, but he also stood for election in 1982. Got elected, 6-year term, and he then ran again 4 other times, so a total of 5 times, which put him as a member of the board of directors on the Nebraska Public Power District for over 30 years, 31, close enough. And he is the longest serving member of the board of directors of the Nebraska Public Power District. And I know he is appreciated so much. Words can't display how much it was appreciated. So I felt it was important that the legislature go down in record, so those who look in the legislative journals and those who see the facts of what has happened in Nebraska, who has had a positive impact, and in this case, the tremendous leadership that he has provided, I wanted it in public record. So I wrote, and with Senator Christ's full approval, what became LR 500. Copy of the full document. I will spare you the time. I won't read it. Shakespeare is the one who said, brevity is the soul of wit. I want to show some wit. But I can't thank you enough on behalf of so many people. And I did see in the back of the room, Mr. Pope. Pat Pope is the president and chief executive officer of MPPD, drove up from Columbus. Pat, thank you for being here. And I know that he also sincerely appreciates your public service.
Thank you.
I have one more. I went to the governor's office to let them know, and they saw LR 500 being passed by the legislature. And the governor's office immediately said, it's not going to be a 2 to 3 week process for this. We want to make him, Mr. Boyd, an admiral in the Nebraska Navy.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Admiralship in the Nebraska Navy, Bing Crosby, Johnny Carson, Douglas MacArthur, various presidents. There are many people that the state governor wants to extend credit to for many, many things. But Governor Heineman asked me to have this extended to you with his sincere appreciation.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And many of you that know me well know that I don't look for publicity and honors like this. I will say that they attempted to keep LR 500 a surprise for me. However, somebody that's got the legislative branch on his iPad at home and reads the resolutions and bills that are submitted knew this ahead of time. The appointment to the Nebraska Navy, I did not. That was a surprise today. And I appreciate that. I appreciate the recognition from Senator Crist, Senator Bloomfield, and Governor Heineman. I just want to say a few things. As far as being city attorney, had I not had the ability to work with some tremendous people as mayor, council people, and staff over the 46 years, I probably wouldn't have continued in this job. And I just hope that during that time I've done work that's acceptable to the board. In addition to that, I couldn't have done both of these things, the city attorney and the NPPD board, without the support of my wife and my family. I don't think anyone realizes the amount of time that serving on a board like that takes away from your regular business, in my case, practicing law. But I enjoyed doing it, and I just hope that I was able to present something to the people of the state of Nebraska and the ratepayers of NPPD that we can all be proud of. I've got to tell you one story. When I was first appointed as city attorney, Ernie Albertson had just dismissed my predecessor, walked down from his office around the corner into my office, into our office, and my partner at the time had been city attorney at one time, and Ernie said, "Do you want to take over temporarily till I find somebody?" And Rod said, "No, go next door and get him." So he walks in my office and said, "I need somebody to take this over temporarily until I find a replacement." And I didn't know temporary meant 46 years. But it's been fun. I've enjoyed it, and I hope that I've done the right thing for the city. I try my best to do that, and hope that everything has turned out well in those 46 years. I would like to ask my wife and family to come up here for just a minute. All of you. And if Diane or anybody has something to say, I'll let them do it. But this is one of the reasons that I was able to do this for that length of time.
It is so nice to know that this Rod Crow was born, raised, schooled here, and is what he is today, and he came from South Sioux City. Now, I want to tell you a funny story about Wayne and Brandon. When we go to Kansas City, the kids work, and so we have the kids. So a month ago, we were there, and we were talking all day, and all day, Brandon would go, "Yep, yep, yep." Finally, Wayne says, "Brandon, you sound like a baby puppy, but as long as it's positive, I guess you're okay. Now, when you guys go out and you go into the world, you're going to notice how many people say yep. So to the council, always be positive and say yep." Yep.
Yep, yep.
Original resolution
Okay.
signed, but I asked for the higher. We don't give it to anybody.
Okay,
And
thank
then
you.
this is your admiralship. You sign
Okay.
that, keep that, and then any more information on the admiralship, this is how they provide it.
Good. Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much.
We have another gentleman that would like to speak at this time.
Uh-oh.
Can we adjourn the meeting?
Just in case they don't remember me. I'm Pat Pope, President and CEO of Nebraska Public Power District. And as Rod was talking about Wayne being appointed in 1981 and then being elected, it got me thinking about all of the issues that he had to deal with on the NPPD Board of Directors. I started with the district in 1979, and I got to see some of the things, although I obviously wasn't at the same level that he was dealing with. But when you think about not only the good things that went on in the district, but the very difficult things, the Cooper nuclear stations, the loss of load growth projections and the amount of surpluses that we dealt with, all of the transmission work that has gone on over the years, the industry has changed tremendously. And during that entire period, there was at least one individual, and that was Wayne, on the NPPD Board of Directors, that kept up with it, that stayed engaged, that stayed positive, looked for ways to move the organization forward. It was always Wayne's counsel if there was a tough issue and we really needed to hear some wise counsel, all eyes turned to Wayne. Because he did have the experience, he had the balance, the perspective that really helped us work through those issues. And I can tell you today that we do truly miss that counsel on the board. We are continuing to face lots of changes in our industry, and not having you there is a big hole. So, but I do want to thank you for all those years of service. I still enjoy, we still exchange emails. I can see he's sitting in his easy chair at night, and he's on that iPad. I get a message from him every once in a while, and I still try to give him a call every once in a while to keep up on things. So, Wayne, congratulations, and thank you very much.
Thank you. I do want to thank Pat and other members of the NPPD staff that took the time to drive up here from Columbus today. I always enjoyed working with them, and we had a good I hope we had a good working relationship. And it's one of those things, you know, at a certain point you've got to move on. And I do. I send Pat articles that I read about the energy issues in the country. And he always knows about them before I send them to him, but I do it anyway. But anyway, thank you for coming. I really appreciate it.
And with that, Wayne, I'd like to pass on our congratulations and thanks from the city and the people of South Sioux City for all that you have done for us. And I would also point out, when something comes up, I turn to my right hand, and there's Wayne. I ask Wayne, he gives me his answer, and that's what we go with. And I appreciate everything he's done for us.